Good news, Auburn fans, your wait is finally over. We know who our offensive coordinator will be under Hugh Freeze. Let's talk about who that guy is. I'm going to give you 10 facts that you need to know about the new Auburn offensive coordinator. But before we do that, always want to remind you to smash the like button if you enjoy this type of content, and be sure to leave a comment down below as you're watching or listening today. It'll help enter you into our ongoing subscriber giveaway for a signed Auburn football prize package. Details are listed in the description for this video. And lastly, we do want to thank members of our booster club like Devin Wistrom, who help produce videos like this. All right, let's all breathe a collective sigh of relief. We know the offensive coordinator. I know a lot of people were stressed about this, especially on social media, but fret no more. We know it as Philip Montgomery is heading over to the Tigers, the former Tulsa head coach. We're going to dive a little bit more into details about him, especially those 10 facts that you need to know about this particular guy as Auburn's OC right now. As we've been discussing in fact number 1 throughout this whole series, who is this person going to be replacing? Technically, that is Will Friend and Ike Hilliard, the co-OCs together during the interim period. But truthfully, he's replacing Eric Keesaw, who was the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach for Brian Harsin, but was let go along the same timeline as he was during the season of those initial firings. So that is who will be being replaced by Philip Montgomery. If you want more details about some of the people that were let go at the very end of the season, that video is out there for you as well. In fact, number 2, we're talking about coaching experience. How long has this guy been in the game? 29 years, counting the 2022 season. Now, to be specific, those have been in a variety of different roles: offensive coordinator, head coach, and even a student assistant position that he had at the very beginning of his time. But 29 years is a lot to be respected. In fact, number 3, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that experience, specifically the stuff outside of college. First thing to note, no pro experience for this coach, not necessarily a bad thing, especially because there are going to be other coaches on staff now that do bring that pro level of experience to the table. Here's what he's done at high school. And mind you, this has all been in the state of Texas. But in 1995, he started at Celeste High School as the OC quarterback and running backs coach. In 1996, at Stephenville Junior High School, the quarterback and running backs coach. The same role, but this time at Stephenville High School from 1997 to 2001. And at Denton High School in 2002, he moved up to the OC level completely. Continuing in our dive into his resume, in fact number 4, we're talking about his college coaching experience, and here's what he has done. In 2003 to 2006, he started at Houston as the quarterback and running backs coach. He was promoted to the co-OC level with those other roles in 2007 at Houston. He moved on over to Baylor in 2008 to 2011 as the co-OC quarterback and running backs coach. From 2012 to 2014, he was the OC by himself and the quarterbacks coach too. And in 2015 to 2022, he had the privilege of being the head coach of the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. So for fact number 5, you probably already heard something in that resume that sticks out to you. No SEC experience. Much like when we talked about with pro experience, it's not necessarily a disqualifier or a bad thing, especially when you've got other staff members that are bringing that to the table. What you want to find is the best person for the job, even if that means they don't have SEC experience, although it is a nice thing if they do have that. Moving on to fact number 6, talking about his playing experience, because it's always good to know that the coach actually played the game. Being a native of Eastland, Texas, he played for Eastland High School before moving on to the college level, where he played for Tarleton State University for 4 years as a letterman each of those years. And mind you, after his time there, this is when his first coaching experience came into play as a student assistant in 1994 for them, where he was involved with the running backs and their summer weight room coordinator. In fact number 7, we're talking about who has had the biggest influence on this guy as a coach. Who has really shaped what he's going to be as an OC? There's one big name there: Art Briles. Now listen, there's a lot of stuff and baggage around that name that we're not going to get into in this video. There are important conversations to have there. We are focusing strictly on the football stuff, and there's one thing that you cannot deny. Art Briles had an incredible offense much of the time, led by this guy. Now, he spent time first with him at Houston in a variety of roles before moving up to OC, and did the same thing over at Baylor during some of their more prolific times there. So if you're excited about the Art Briles offense, you should be excited about having this guy as your OC now. Fact number 8, we talk about regional ties, especially when it comes to the case of recruiting. As I've mentioned, he is from Eastland, Texas, and he went to college at Tarleton State, both of which are just within a few miles of each other, just to the west of Dallas, Fort Worth, in that particular area. So when you talk about regional ties, you can see him being really connected to that area over there. And Texas is a gold mine, literally, of high school football talent. So having him have his influence over there and all the time that he spent in the state of Texas and even Oklahoma is going to be a huge benefit in recruiting for Coach Hugh Freeze and the staff. In fact number 9, we're going to look at some offensive statistics that may inform what to expect as Philip Montgomery comes to be Auburn's OC. Now, we're going to give you a lot of the good things, but at least address how he did in his final season at Tulsa, which honestly wasn't all that great, but it was as a head coach and not focused on being an OC. So here's where they rank in some of the categories. In passing, they rank 53rd, rushing 34th, scoring 81st, 28th in total offense, and in pass efficiency, they ranked 79th overall. Now the good stuff, some of his best years at Baylor. And there were some good times at Houston too, but there's too much to talk about, so we got to hone in on the best things. We'll talk about some gears and where they ranked in the top 5 of particular offensive categories. 2011 and 2012, they ranked 4th both times in passing yardage. In 2013 and 14, they ranked 1st in both of these categories in both years, scoring and total offense. And then finally back to 2011 at Baylor, they ranked 1st in passing efficiency. Not to say that's going to be replicated here at Auburn, but at least he's got a good pedigree that we can fall back on. And finally at number 10, what are some of the notable plays that he's had a hand in coaching? When you think about him and his time at Baylor, one name comes to mind, RG3, Robert Griffin III, the Heisman winner. But he's not all. There was Bryce Petty as well at Baylor. Back at Houston, there was Case Keenum and many others that he has had a hand in making a better quarterback for all conference type of levels and all the way up to Heisman. You should be pretty excited about what he can do for quarterbacks. So those are my thoughts on your brand new OC, Philip Montgomery. Would love to hear yours too down in the comments section below. Be sure to do that because it enters you into that ongoing subscriber giveaway. Speaking of which, you need to be subscribed too to be involved in that. So make sure you take care of that. Check out the links in the description for ways that you can help support our content, but we just appreciate you being here today at E2C Network, where we share the whole Auburn experience. War Eagle.